Hello students, good evening everyone. Thank you for watching my videos. And today we are going to discuss about the human digestive system. So before we watch this video, try to subscribe to my channel so that you will get the notification whenever I upload any video. Okay, so let us go and see the human digestive system. So these four videos I'm doing this for paramedical students as they are very need for their examinations as they are lagging their books. They're not lagging in their studies as well, so they are not able to follow the classes, manual classes. So I'm doing these videos for the sake of paramedical students and medical students and dental students. Again, I will upload the videos for them to describe the basics of anatomy. Okay, let us discuss about the human digestive system. So coming to this human digestive system, it starts, where does it starts and where does it ends? So the phases include ingestion, movement, mechanical and chemical digestion, absorption and elimination. These are the five processes it has to undergo. Okay, let us see this. First one is the types, the mechanical. What is the mechanical? Chewing, then tearing, grinding, mashing, and mix. So these are the five processes it has to undergo. The food it has to undergo these five processes. Whenever you keep the food inside your oral cavity, the tongue it tastes the food, and as well as the saliva which has been secreted by the salivary glands. It helps in the to prevent the friction between the food and your oral cavity. So then after that, the teeth which are very helpful for the grinding or for tearing of the food material. Suppose when you take any solid material like non-vegetarian or vegetarian, any vegetables or non-vegetarian, the chicken or mutton, whatever it may be, the meat, it has to break down into small pieces by the teeth, and the food it has to be swallow easily. It has to go easily into the digestive tract by the help of the salivary glands. So salivary glands, they are producing saliva, they are producing the saliva. So that is the reason the food it is going to mix properly with the saliva, and it becomes a semi solid, and it passes easily into the digestive tract. That is, immediately after the oral cavity we can identify oropharynx, that is nothing but musculomembranous tube. It enters into the esophagus. So esophagus is nothing but the continuation of the oropharynx. That is the reason. That is how the food bolus. Bolus is nothing but the mixed food. Means after grinding of the food, it is called as the bolus. So it easily goes into the esophagus and reaches to the stomach. So these are the process it has to undergo. So let us see the salivary glands, how they are present. So coming to this different process and all. So as we have discussed about the mechanical or physical things and all. So how the food enters into the oral cavity and how it is going to convert into bolus. So the digestion process it starts from the mouth. So let us see the parts first. So what are the parts? So it starts the gastrointestinal tract or gastrointestinal system. It starts from the mouth. Okay, it starts from the mouth, and then the food it converts into bolus, means the soft material, it is called as bolus. The bolus it enters into the pharynx called as tube, musculomembranous tube. That pharynx is continuous as the esophagus. Try to see my mouse arrow so that you can follow easily. So the food bolus enters into the esophagus. This esophagus it opens into this red color one is nothing but the stomach. Then from the stomach, the food which enters into the stomach, the digestion, most of the food it gets digested in the stomach. Means this red color one is nothing but the stomach. In this stomach, the most of the food material it is going to get digested. Then after that, the digested material, it enters into this pink color one called as the small intestine. Okay, then it enters into the small intestine. The digested food, it is going to absorb by this small intestine. So it receives all the nutrients from the digested material, digested food. Then after that, what happens? The excretory material means unnecessary materials which are present in the food, it reaches to the large intestine. So the small intestine opens into the large intestine. So unnecessary food materials, they enters into the large intestine. Then after that, the large intestine, it absorbs the water, it absorbs the water. And then after that, the last unnecessary material which is not useful to our body, and it comes out through, it enters into the rectum, and then through the anal canal is going to get excreted. That is the process of the digestion. Okay, so let us explore each and every organ one by one. Okay, so as we are going to discuss about the mouth first. Okay, so let us see the mouth. So coming to the mouth, so what are the parts of the mouth and what is going to happen in the mouth? Let us see that. So the teeth mechanically break down the food into small pieces as we have discussed earlier. The tongue mixes the food with saliva, which is composed of the amylase enzyme. This amylase enzyme, which is present in the saliva, that helps to the breakdown of the materials, food materials. Then after that, the food material, it goes posterior, means it goes back and enters into the oropharynx. So let us see first one by one. So here we are seeing this salivary glands. Okay, so this is a parotid gland, and here you can identify the submandibular salivary gland, and this is the sublingual salivary gland. So these are the paired salivary glands. So the major salivary glands are present, and also the minor salivary glands are present. Okay, remember salivary glands are two different types, major and minor. So these are major salivary glands: parotid gland, submandibular salivary gland, sublingual salivary gland. These glands, they secrete saliva, and minor salivary glands, they are present in entire the oral cavity below this mucous membrane of the mouth, and also below this mucous membrane of the palate. Palate means the bony palate, means the upper jaw which is forming the palate. The below this mucous membrane, the below this mucous membrane, we can identify minor salivary glands. So these all salivary glands, they secrete saliva. By the help of saliva and by the help of amylase, entire the hard food materials, they converts into soft bolus. Then what happens? Let us see. So in the oral cavity, what we are going to identify? First one, we are going to see the vestibule of the mouth. Okay, so the vestibule of the mouth, what we can identify is this is a space is called as vestibule of the mouth. So inside the oral cavity between the jaws and the cheek, we can identify the space called as vestibule of the mouth. So in the vestibule, we can identify the food is going to preserve over there. So for some time, it stays over there till you convert, till the hard food it converts into the soft food. It remains in the vestibule. Slowly, the food material, little by little, it is going to convert into soft material. Then the two lips which we can identify, these are called as mucus and mucus membranous folds. Mucus membranous folds. And these mucus membranous folds, which are present inside, here also you can identify slowly some part of the food material it is going to retain for some time. Then after that, other things which we can identify, the parts of the lips. So here you can identify the external surface of the lips, and here you can identify upper lip and the lower lip. They are going to join over here. This part is called as angle of the mouth. Angle of the mouth. So here the lips outside, we can identify the skin, outside skin, and then inside we can identify the mucous membrane. Here we cannot identify any mucous membrane, it is continuous as the mucous membrane inside of the oral cavity. Then what are the other things we can identify are, so the upper jaw, which we can identify the hard palate. So the bony part, which is called as hard palate. Posteriorly we can identify a hanging like projection called as soft palate. So this soft palate, it is composed of the muscles of the soft palate. There are palatoglossus, palatopharynx. That is not required for you guys. But remember, this hanging like projection is called as uvula. Uvula. Then after that, what are the process is going to happen? Let after that it enters into the oropharynx. So these are the blood vessels which are supplying to the lips, and they are also supplying to the cheeks. Okay, so this superior labial artery, inferior labial artery, these are the blood vessels which are supplying to the lips and the cheeks. Then coming to this lymphatics, these are the lymphatics which takes the lymph from the upper lip and the lower lip and the cheeks. Then the nerve supply, these nerves, upper lip supplied by infraorbital nerve, lower lip supplied by mental nerve. Just remember these nerve names. No need to panic about these situations. Okay. So then coming to the cheeks, these are buccal flaps. Okay. So these cheeks we can identify. Outside, the children we can identify small amount of fat is present called as buccal pad of fat. Okay. The cheeks outside we can identify flappy. Then outside you can identify a sulcus called as nasolabial sulcus between the nose and the mouth. Okay. Then after that we can identify the gums and the teeth. Gums and the teeth. So what are the gums? So gums are the structures. In the gums we can identify these teeth which are located. So okay, teeth are rested in the gums. Okay. Then the teeth which are helpful for the grinding of the food, then these are the nerve supplies, these are not necessary for you. Then these are the teeth, there are 32 teeth are present in the normal adult. Okay, 32 teeth. So these are the parts of the teeth: crown, neck and the root. Okay, briefly I'm just explaining. Crown, outside part which is present outside the gum, that is called as crown, and inside, just below this crown, you can identify the neck, and inside you can identify the root. Okay, so that is about the uh, parts of the teeth, parts of the tooth, and as well as structure of the tooth. What is the structure? This is enamel, dentine, cementum. These are the parts and structure of the tooth. Okay, so just I'm going very little fast, so that which is not required for you guys. Then coming to the palate, as I told you earlier, there are two parts: hard palate, soft palate. Anterior part is called as hard palate, and posterior part is called as soft palate. Let us see the diagram over here. So this anterior part we can identify the hard palate. Posterior, just behind to that one, we can identify the soft palate. So the minor salivary glands and palatine glands which are present here, they secrete the mucus, and as well as they secrete the electrolytes which are helpful for the to convert the to convert the hard food into soft food, and also they use the enzyme called as amylase enzyme. Then, as I told you, after that, the food bolus, it is going and enters into the oropharynx. So this is the oral cavity. We have discussed about the teeth. We have discussed about the palate, and we have discussed about the lips. We have discussed about the cheek. Then coming to this next part is the tongue. So tongue we can identify it is the most mobile organ which receives the food, and the taste, it is having some taste buds on the surface, dorsal surface. So it receives the food, and it identify the taste of the particular food. Okay, it takes the food and gives the taste. Okay, the taste buds which identify the taste. Okay, then after that, the food bolus, it enters into the oropharynx called as musculomembranous tube. This is the tube. Okay, so this pharynx is a musculomembranous tube. The middle part of the pharynx is called as oropharynx or mesopharynx. The food bolus enters into the mesopharynx, then it enters into the oropharynx, it opens into the esophagus. Okay, so these are the muscles of the pharynx. So levator veli palatini, tensor veli palatini. Okay, so these are all the muscles of the pharynx. These are not required for you. Then coming to this vascular supply, means blood vessels which are supplying to the pharynx and all. Okay, then after that, I'll show you the I have shown you the pharynx. Now the food enters into the esophagus. So the food reaches to the pharynx, then it enters into the esophagus. So esophagus opens into this J-shaped part called as stomach. Let us see that. Before going to explore the stomach, let us see the esophagus. So what is the length of esophagus? It is 10 inches long. Okay, it is 10 inches long. Then functions it includes, it secretes the mucus. It secretes the mucus. Then after that it moves food from throat to the stomach using a muscle movement called as peristalsis. This is the movement you remember. Through this peristalsis movement, the food bolus enters into the J-shaped part called as stomach. So if acid of the stomach gets burned, that's called as heartburn. Okay, if acid from the stomach it gets in here, that is called as heartburn. So if the gas is more, okay, in the stomach, the pain which we can identify, it radiates into the esophagus, so you'll get chest pain over here. Okay, so that the things we'll discuss later. So then parts of the stomach, so esophagus we have seen. Then coming to this, the parts of the pharynx are nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. Okay, so that is about pharynx and the esophagus. Now we entered into the abdomen region. So esophagus, where we can identify esophagus? So it is present in the thorax region and it reaches to the abdomen region now. Okay, so this is the cervical part of esophagus, means which is present in the neck, then thoracic part of esophagus which is present in the thorax, then abdominal part of esophagus. So let us see what are these three things. So first, the esophagus starts in the lower part of the neck, that is called as cervical, then it enters into the thorax region called as thoracic part of esophagus, then it opens into stomach called as abdominal part. Small part of the esophagus is called as abdominal part of esophagus. Then coming to this regions of the abdomen, this is very important. Try to remember this. So we are drawing two imaginary lines over here, two lateral planes, vertical planes, and two horizontal planes. Two vertical planes we are drawing at the level of clavicle. So collarbone, at the mid part of the clavicle, we are drawing two imaginary vertical planes. These are also called as two lateral planes. And two horizontal planes we are drawing. One is called as transpyloric plane, which is approximately present between the jugular notch of the sternum and the pubic symphysis. Between these 2 points, we are drawing an imaginary horizontal plane called as transpyloric plane. Another plane we are drawing called as transtubercular plane. So just try to feel that iliac spine over here. So at the waist part, we can identify a small bony projection called as anterior superior iliac spine. If we just move 5 centimeters posterior, at the level of that, we are drawing one another transverse or horizontal plane called as transtubercular plane. So these two vertical planes and two horizontal planes are dividing this abdomen region into 9 regions. Abdomen part is going to divide into 9 regions. So what are they? So first at the midpoint we can identify an umbilicus. So that region called as umbilical region. Above the umbilical we can identify epigastric region. Below this umbilical, hypogastric region or pubic region. On either side of the umbilical, we can identify right lumbar or right flank, left side, left lumbar or left flank. On either side of the pubic region or hypogastric region, right iliac, left iliac. We can also call as right groin, left groin. Then on either side of the epigastric region, right hypochondrium, left hypochondrium. So why we need to discuss about these areas, these regions? Because so whenever we are locating any organ, we need to write the location of that particular organ, and we need to assume. Suppose when you get pain over here, so you need to mention at which area the pain we can identify. So if you get pain over here, you need to write it as epigastric pain. If you get the pain in here, umbilical pain. If you get pain over here, left hypochondric pain. This is how the regions are divided. This is how we need to identify also. Okay, let us see that. First, we are going to discuss about the stomach. So, the stomach is a J-shaped organ which is present in the abdomen. Esophagus, it opens into stomach. esophagus opens into stomach. So then it is a muscular bag which stores the food you eat and breaks it down into tiny pieces. So you don't need to write, you know, better to copy this material and so that you can represent in the examinations as well. Then what are the other point is it mixes food with the digestive juices that contain enzymes to break down proteins and lipids. And also this stomach, it is composed of different cells called as parietal cells. These cells, they secrete the acid called as acid hydrochloric acid. So by the help of this hydrochloric acid, entire the food particles which is not digested in the mouth, so that food materials, they are going to get digested in the stomach. So by the help of digestive juices and by the help of acid, entire the food is going to get digested in the stomach. Okay, so the food found in the stomach is called as chyme. So after grinding of the food, after mastication or grinding of the food, that time it is called as bolus. Then the bolus is going to convert into the chyme. So after digestion, it is called as chyme. So here is a dissected image so that you can identify the stomach over here. Okay, so the J-shaped part called as stomach. So the food enters into the stomach and entire the food is going to get digested in this particular part called as stomach. Then after that, so coming to the parts of the stomach. So you need to write the parts of the stomach. So the parts of the stomach are fundus, body, pylorus. Okay, fundus, body, and pylorus. So before you need to write the borders and surface of the liver, borders and surface of the stomach as well, and also you need to write the features of the stomach. So in the examination they ask explain the stomach. Then you need to write two orifices. One is esophageal orifice and the pyloric orifice. Esophageal orifice where the esophagus opens into stomach, that is called as esophageal orifice. Pyloric orifice where the stomach is going to join with the small intestine, that part is called as pyloric orifice. And it is having two curvatures, lesser curvature and the greater curvature. Okay, so on two surfaces, this is entire the anterior surface, behind that it is called as posterior surface. You try to make a note all these things. So two orifices, then two curvatures, lesser curvature, greater curvature, then two surfaces, anterior surface and the posterior surface. Then parts of the stomach are fundus, body, and pylorus. Fundus, body, and pylorus. Okay, then what are the structures are present here? Let us see here. So this layer which we can identify, the small layer which we can identify, this is called as the peritoneum. It is a peritoneal folds. So peritoneum is a layer in the sac which covers entire the abdominal organs. Why it is covering entire the abdominal organs? Because during the peristalsis movements, these organs, they move. The stomach will move, intestines will move, small intestine, large intestine also they move. So to provide the movement, okay, for free movement, this peritoneum is a sac which is covering the organs for the free movement. Okay, suppose when you take more food, the stomach is going to get enlarges, so it slowly it hangs down. So for that it has to move. Suppose it got fixed to any particular part, you will get definitely the abdominal pain. So it moves down, so it provides the free movement for abdominal organs. So at the lesser curvature you can identify a peritoneum called as lesser peritoneum fold. This fold is called as lesser peritoneum, lesser omentum. At the greater curvature you can identify greater omentum. So in this dissected image you can identify the greater omentum over here and lesser omentum which is present approximately over here. Okay, so that is about the stomach, features of the stomach. Then coming to the small intestine. So the food chyme, it enters into the small intestine. So from the stomach, the food chyme. Chyme means after digestion, the food is called as chyme. The chyme enters into the small intestine. So what is the length of the small intestine? So it is roughly 6 to 7 meters long. In a very stout people, means the more weight gain people, might be reaches to the 7 meters. Normally, normal adult male, the measurement of the small intestine is about 6 meters long. Okay, so then coming to this, what are the other features? It is lining the intestinal walls as finger-like projections. Inside the small intestine, you can identify finger-like projections. They are called as villi. So they increase the surface area to absorb more food. So the villi are covered in microvilli, which further increases the surface area for absorption. Okay, so here you can identify. We have cut the small intestine and we have opened it, and now we are seeing this finger-like projections called as villi. On this villi, we can identify small other projections called as microvilli. Microvilli. So the main function of the small intestine is to absorb the food, okay, so that is about the small intestine. Okay, then coming to this, what it absorbs 80% ingested water and vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and this small intestine secretes the digestive enzymes. So then coming to this, the parts of the small intestine. Let us see the parts of the small intestine. Okay, so wait for a while. Now coming to this small intestine, parts of the small intestine. Let us see the parts of small intestine. So first, it is having a C-shaped organ, C-shaped part. Okay, so the food is digested, then that is called as chyme. That chyme it enters into the small intestine. Okay, the small intestine, parts of the small intestine, as I told you earlier, the small intestine is 6 meters long. Okay, so as it is 6 meters long, so it is having two ends. So the first end where the it is opening into the stomach. So stomach it opens into the small intestine. Then a last end it opens into large intestine. Okay, so the parts of the small intestine, one is C-shaped part called as duodenum. C-shaped part called as duodenum. Then let us see that how lengthy it is. So here we are looking at this small intestine. So this small half part of this is nothing but the duodenum. Then rest of the part it is called as jejunum. Okay, entire this part is called as jejunum, and last this terminal part is called as ileum. Okay, so duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. These are the three parts of small intestine. Then after that, let us see the large intestine. So the small intestine opens into the large intestine, and this is 5 feet long. Okay, 5 feet long. It accepts what small intestine don't absorb. Okay, then after that it opens into the rectum, which holds the feces, and then before it expel. Okay, so the fecal material, which is nothing but the unwanted substances which are not required for the body, it enters into the rectum. Okay, so coming to this large intestine. So let us see the large intestine diagram over here. So let us see. I'll show the large intestine diagram. Okay, just wait for a while. Yes. So large intestine. The parts of the large intestine are, yes, here you can see that. First part we can identify the cecum and appendix, a finger-like projection called as appendix. Then the first part where the ileum is opening into that is called as cecum. Then it is called as ascending colon, means it is running upwards. So vertical part, ascending colon, then transverse colon. Then after that, descending colon. Then you can identify the sigmoid colon. Sigmoid colon opens into the rectum. Okay, that is about the parts of large intestine, parts of small intestine. Then, what is the function of the large intestine? So, in this picture, we can identify clearly how the small intestine, the terminal part is called as ileum. Ileum opens into the large intestine. This part is called as cecum. This finger-like projection is called as appendix. Then, this is ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon. Then, after that, through this large intestine, the entire the unwanted food substances or food substances which are not absorbed by the small intestine, they will get absorbed in the large intestine. Then it enters into the rectum. Then after that, that unwanted substances it enters into the anal canal through the fecal material. Fecal material is nothing but unwanted waste substances. Okay, so the bacterial digestion, ferment carbohydrates, protein breakdown. This is about the bacterial digestion function. Then it absorbs more water, then concentrate waste substances, and also it is having some the mucous substances which is responsible for the free movement of fecal material from inside to outside. Then accessory organs, what are the other accessory organs are present in the GIT? They are, one is, you can identify the gallbladder, so not part of the path of the food but play a critical role. How it is playing a critical role is, it is taking the bile. It is taking the bile means the bile which is secreted by the liver, it enters into the ducts. It enters into the common hepatic duct, then it enters into the cystic duct. Through the cystic duct, the bile which is secreted by the liver, it enters into the gallbladder. Then this gallbladder acidifies the bile. Then the acidified bile, it enters into the bile duct. Then after that bile duct, it is going to join with the pancreatic duct and then opens into second part of duodenum. So what is present in the duodenum? The chyme. Chyme means after digestion the food is called as chyme. The chyme is going to get breakdown. If any food material which is not digested in the stomach, that food material, it is going to get digested by the acidic bile and the pancreatic juice. Okay, so what are the accessory organs? So first one we have discussed about the gallbladder. Then we are going to discuss about liver and the pancreas. Okay, let us see the liver. So this blue color one which I am showing you, this purple color one, is called as the liver. So it directly affects the digestion by producing bile. So we have discussed about it, produce the bile. So the bile helps digest fat. Okay, then it filters out toxins and waste, including drugs and alcohol. So the main action of the liver is detoxification. When you are writing the liver, you just mention the word called as detoxification, means converting the toxic substances into non-toxic substances, called as detoxification. It is carried out by the gland called as liver. And also it helps the digestion of the fat. And how it is digesting the fat? By secreting the bile. Okay, so you can identify these are all the hepatocytes. So this is the clear image of the liver. So when you are writing the liver, you try to mention about the, what is this liver? So it is the largest gland of the body. It consists of both exocrine and endocrine part. Exocrine part secrete the biliary bile, which is passing through the biliary passages. Endocrine part secretes glucose. Glucose. So it converts glucose to glycogen. Okay. Then comes to the shape and position. It is a wedge shape organ. Wedge shape organ. So base directed to the right side, okay, and apex directed to the towards the left side. So this is the apex and this is the base. Okay, where does it situate? So where does it situate? So it's situating at the, yes, try to identify the locations. So this is the umbilical region, this is epigastric region, this is right hypochondric region. So right hypochondrium, epigastrium, and sometimes it may extend into right lumbar region as well. So coming to the stomach, which where it is located, it is located in the left hypochondrium. Then duodenum is present in the umbilical region. Then jejunum ileum, they extends from here to here, means from umbilical region. Then it enters into the hypogastric region and enters into right iliac region, where the cecum or first part of the large intestine is present. Weight of the liver is about 1.4 to 1.8 kilograms. In females, it is 1.2 to 1.4. So, in newborn, it is 1/18th of the body weight. Okay, at birth, it is 150 grams. Okay, so coming to this, the borders and surface of the liver. So, it is having anterior surface, anterior surface, right lateral surface, and then posterior surface. I will show you. Then sharp inferior border. It is having sharp inferior border. And here you can see the posterior surface and the inferior surface, posterior inferior and posterior superior surface. Okay, so this posterior inferior surface, This surface is called as visceral surface. Why? Because it is related to the some abdominal organs. That's why it is called as visceral surface. Okay. So coming to the liver, what you have to write is liver is a wedge-shaped organ. It secretes the bile, which helpful for the digestion of the fat. Then it is involving in the detoxification process. Then the features are anterior surface, right lateral surface, then posterior inferior surface, and sharp inferior border. Okay, then other things what we can identify, or let us see that. So the superior surface we can identify the ligaments which are present. Okay, then that is about the liver. Okay, no need to remember more things. Okay, just these things, main things you have to remember and try to write down in the examinations. Then coming to the gallbladder, already I have discussed about this gallbladder. So it stores the bile from the liver and releases it into small intestine, exactly where it releases into the duodenum, second part of the duodenum. Okay, so the fatty diets can cause gallstones. Then coming to the pancreas. Pancreas is a leaf-shaped organ. It is a leaf-shaped gland. So which type of gland it is? It is it exocrine or endocrine? It is partly exocrine and partly endocrine gland. It produces the digestive enzymes to digest fats, carbohydrates, and the proteins. Okay, it regulates the blood sugar by producing insulin. So the hormones which are secreted by the pancreas, that they are present at the tail part. Let us see the, yes, pancreas. So this is the pancreas, the leaf-shaped organ. Okay. So the parts of the pancreas are head, neck, body, and tail. So coming to this ducts. So the tail part, it is composed of islets of Langerhans, which are secretion, which are responsible for the insulin and glucagon hormones, and rest of the part which is having the ducts. This white color one is the ducts. Ducts means they takes the pancreatic juice and releases into the second part of duodenum. So what I explained you told you about the bile duct it is joining with the pancreatic duct and opens into the second part of duodenum. Okay, this is about the parts of the pancreas. Okay, so here you can see that. So the parts of the pancreas: head, neck, body, and tail. Remember, tail, at the tail, what are the structures are present? Islets of longer hands, which are responsible for the releasing of insulin and glucagon. Rest of the head, neck, body, what is present here? So the pancreatic ducts are present. Pancreatic ducts. Okay, so that is about the digestive system. What are the fun facts? How long are your intestines? At least 25 feet in an adult. Okay. Then food drying up and hanging out in the large intestine can last for 18 hours to 2 days. Then in your lifetime, your digestive system may handle 50 tons of food. Now it is your turn for quiz time. Let us identify this. So what is this green color one? Green color one is esophagus. Then this red color one is stomach. Then this pink color one is small intestine. Then brown color one is large intestine. This purple one liver. Then green color one is gallbladder. Then yellow color one is pancreas. Okay. So let us find out. These are the answers to identify the organs. Okay. So thank you students. If you have any doubts, you just please click onto my link, which is I will enter into the description. If you have any doubts, you just contact me freely. Thank you.